Hi guys, follow me on Instagram to never ever miss any of my crazy updates. Alright, we're all set to go, which means getting into sport mode, getting into sport for the gearbox as well, turning off traction control, pressing it once to traction control sport, keeping it pressed, and there we turn off traction control completely. Air conditioning is off. Okay, sorry, I touched my hands and I thought there's some gesture control happening. Please leave that. Okay, hey BMW, sport displays.
Sport displays.
Left foot on the brake, right foot on the accelerator, revving the motor. Yeah, it likes to rev till 3000 RPM. And off we go. The acceleration is absolutely brisk. Yes, this is a 530i and it's like a misnomer. You're like, what is this 530i? Isn't a 530i supposed to be a 6-cylinder? Well, technically the 530 means that it's a 5 series with a 3-liter engine, 30 for 3.0. But right now, what BMW has done is downsized. So this is a 2-liter motor. It happens to be a 4-cylinder unit. It's turbocharged, of course. Twin power turbo. That necessarily doesn't mean twin turbos. It means that there's twin scroll turbocharging. Anyways, the power output happens to be 252. Meanwhile, the torque output happens to be 350 Newton meters at a low 1450 RPM, peaking it at 4800 RPM. So that is a very wide torque band. But on this meter, that graphical interface, which is telling you how much power and torque you're using in real time, it's actually showing a max of 400 in terms of Newton meters. Meanwhile, for the power, it's showing a maximum of 320. This car does not do that output. But anyways, they have calibrated the meter for that. Future may, if they want to change stuff, that can happen. And they've already changed stuff in the future because this is the same engine which also powers the 330i. But in the 330i, there's a big fat difference. What's the difference? The power has gone up by a massive 6 bhp. Meanwhile, the torque output has gone up by 50 Newton meters. So while this car goes from 0 to 100 kilometers per hour in 6.1 seconds, the 330i is faster. It goes from 0 to 100 kilometers per hour in around 5.8 seconds, making it 0.3 seconds quicker. However, it's really the 530D which is the quickest of them all. 0 to 100 kilometers per hour in 5.7 seconds. The 530D is just unmatched. But there is a massive price difference between this and the 530D, almost 9 lakh rupees. That's the reason why we are talking about the 530i today. Now, performance is very good. The motor is extremely smooth, very refined and drivable as well. But you can feel some amount of lag lower down in the city. But out on the highway, you don't feel that lag as such. The motor does feel punchy and overall performance is brisk enough to put a big smile on your face. In fact, even overtaking on the highway is not an issue because this 8-speed ZF source gearbox, a torque converter, is very fast with shifts. It's extremely responsive too and super smooth as well. The engine itself is so smooth. I mean, I can't tell you in words how smooth it is because you can barely hear the motor, which is actually a bad thing because the motor is absolutely nice and sporty in the top end. It will redline close to 7,000 RPM. Now that is what you miss with the 530D. With the 530D's massive torque output means that there's immediate response whenever you want to get go, and this car just lacks that. However, as you see, the steering is quite light. It's an electric power steering. It is on the lighter side, but it weighs up very well at higher speeds. But because this happens to be the petrol, okay, it's not as front end heavy as the diesel. However, BMW still claims that both the cars are having 50-50 weight distribution. So I don't understand how to calculate all that and more. And I think we're going to get stuck in a traffic jam right now because there's so many trucks. I don't even understand where the trucks come from, and all the trucks and buses always want to drive in the right lane. So all of you guys were like, "Arey, you keep driving in the left lane, you should overtake from right." Please tell me, how do I overtake from the right when every truck driver, every bus driver wants to drive on the right itself? Anyways, there's a lot of work going on here somehow, and the 5 Series is obviously at home in every condition because this is the 5 Series. Now, if I have to club things up, I would say that the 530i cannot match any of the diesels. Obviously, 520D has more torque, but you know, this is smoother, more refined and punchier as well. Now here's the irony, if you are in a 5 Series, there has to be an E-Class, and that is the E200. That is a petrol model as well. Both are 4 cylinders. 4-cylinder, why? Don't call this car a 530. I just call it the 525 or even the 528 is fine by me. But 530 just reminds me of the E60 which came with the 530i motor, which was obviously a 6-cylinder naturally aspirated, and even the 330i, which I have real fond memories of because the steering was so hard. I didn't go to the gym for 1 month. I had done all my exercises, rather all my biceps and triceps and even some amount of chest and shoulder in that car by driving it. The steering was so stiff. This car steering doesn't have the same feel as the diesel somehow. I mean, because it kind of feels slightly light in the center head position, something which was not the case, or rather is not the case with the 530D. With the 530D, that added weight does add to a lot. Anyways, around the corners, this car is an absolute charm. I honestly feel this is overtired. You don't need such wide tires for sure for a car which only produces 350 Newton meters of torque. I don't understand why the bigger 5 Series has lesser power and torque output than the smaller 3 Series, and the 3 Series obviously being lighter just feels so much better. So if you're looking for a petrol sedan, don't opt for the 530i, just save that money and opt for the 330i. That would just make so much more sense for me for sure. Anyways, you can manually take control of things using the steering mounted paddles, and around the corners the body roll is very well contained. It just glides through the corners with such precision, it puts a massive smile on your face somehow. And I was actually telling you that I find the diesels to be better. So I would say that if this is the 530D, 540D, 550D and M5, OMG, Vince McMahon is gone absolutely berserk with this meme. So with low profile tires on this car, I would still say that the way the car rides is brilliant. It's absolutely well calibrated, and even on this low profile rubber, it does a great job over bad roads. It's not stiff as such. Yeah, the car is obviously on the stiffer side, but it doesn't inherit any sort of stiffness as such that will make you feel uncomfortable. It just glides through the worst of roads. Yeah, you obviously feel that stiffness on really bad roads where you have to be extremely careful because of the low ground clearance, and of course the low profile tires because you want to save those alloy wheels for sure without a freaking doubt. And there's a nice drag race going between these two trucks right now. But you know what? The E-Class can go through that. So I'm sure the 5 Series can as well. But we have got 360-degree parking cameras to take our help from. But OMG, here we go. You know what? Only in a 530i you can have the guts of turning off traction control and giving full throttle around the corner, because you know the car is not going to let go. There's so much traction on offer from the wheels. The tires are absolutely oversized. The tires are bigger than the tire size on, like, the one tire on this car is bigger than all the tires on Neha's car somehow. The Duster.
It's her choice.
That is the level of size of tires on this vehicle. Absolutely mind-boggling. I mean, look at the C-Class. Sorry, look at the E-Class. I said C-Class, look at the tires. I'm like, oh my god, there's a small tire. It's 17 inches. That's actually the E-Class. E-Class is running on 17s. This car is running on 18s. And I am telling you what traction levels. Absolutely terrific. But still, it lets you play around with things. Understeer is not a concept in BMW cars because rear wheel driven, so obviously there is some amount of oversteer, but it's all balanced and nice. And if you put the traction control in sport, not turn it off completely, it lets you play with it. It's like a balance, like a ballet. Okay, the amount of skill you have is the amount of fun you can have going like little bit sideways, but you know, everything goes absolutely nuts when you get into the M5. Which is the sportier version of the 5 Series, which is absolute banana. So in India, if you want a petrol powered 5 Series, you either get the 530i, sell your kidneys, lungs and whatever else you can, and get the M5. And the M5 also has two variants. One is the M5 and the other is the M5 competition. The competition, OMG, I can't wait to drive that and more and get onto the gas. The acceleration is immediate. Okay, sometimes the mid-range really shocks you and you know, it pulls you back. And what happened, Neha? Why are you so worried today?
Camera stayed on.
Some things you just have to take on faith.
So this is what a BMW is all about. The precision through a corner, the way it goes through a corner, the way it holds its line, the precision not only in terms of handling balance but also from the steering, the way the body roll is supremely well contained, and of course brakes which are stupendously strong as well. I mean, the brakes on this car are lovely. There's so much stopping power on offer. There's so much technology and systems on offer as well, but they don't intervene and spoil your experience, because once traction control is off, it's off. Okay, it's like I am taking a holiday. My name is traction control. I'm not going to be there. So you manage your stuff and look around the corner. We have the traction control off, and there is no characteristic oversteer as such. Of course, you know, you have to play with the throttle to get this rear to step out, and when it does, the joy is purely, I'm going to use that word, but I'm not going to use the word right now because it's just out of place, but you guys get the drift what I was trying to say here. So absolutely terrific the way the 5 Series handles. Now the elephant in this big fat cabin of the 5 Series is of course that should you buy a 530i or should you get the 530d? Now please hold your breath and try to understand. They have 3 variants of the 5 Series on offer in India. Not 3, actually 4, because yesterday BMW launched the 530i Sport. Okay, and I was searching, have they missed the M? But no, the 530i Sport is another version of the 5 Series, and every time I move my fingers, this gesture control wants to do something or the other thing. So is not the right option right now. Anyways, getting onto the gas, let me tell you something about the variants. So 4 variants on offer technically. There, I was going to say proudly, there's no sport line available right now, but they've got the sport bag which doesn't get, I think, adaptive dampers, but it's priced more attractively. Now that is the entry level of the 5 Series right now. But we're going to talk about the 530i M Sport and the 520d sport line, no, luxury line. So what is the difference between both of them? Obviously one is a lower spec trim in terms of equipment, and one is a higher spec trim, because the M Sport, but this is not the full bananas as you saw earlier in the video when I told you a lot of features are missing. However, the price difference between both of them, the 520D and the 530i, happens to be a minute 75,000 rupees, where the 520D is actually cheaper. Meanwhile, the 530D is priced at rupees 81 lakhs. This is costing around 72.45 lakhs, and that is costing, or rather that is priced on road 81 lakhs. So yes, the 530D is very expensive. You can save those 9 lakhs and burn it on fuel, but fuel economy is not really bad, as bad as I expect it to be. It should return around 8 to 9 kilometers per litre depending on your driving style. And of course, we've got eco start stop. We've got something which is extremely aerodynamic as well. The car is very aerodynamic, very low coefficient of drag. I don't know how BMW has achieved that. And of course, winglets and whatnot to ensure that this car actually does cheat wind to a certain extent. What a beautiful horn this car has. Absolutely amazing. And you know, because the motor likes to rev fast, you know that if you want to make a quick overtake, you can expect the motor to, you know, give you the performance when you need it, because you get on the gas, it responds immediately, and you have to keep the revs on the higher side. It has a beautiful top end. The top end is so satisfying. I think there's a horn competition. Yeah, the BMW one is just so louder. Now, what do you expect? This is how it happens. One truck there, one truck there, one truck there, and then people actually comment. People actually comment. You know, you don't know how to drive. You don't overtake from the right. Please, you guys try and overtake from the right only once. Never overtake from any other lane other than the right. You will never reach your destination only because these guys will never, ever move from the right lane. Why is this guy driving in the right lane? Why? You can drive in the second lane, you can drive in the third lane. No, but he has to drive on the right lane. They don't move no matter how much I give him, you know, if I horn, if I give flashes, nothing. He's unaffected. Has that, you know,
Stubborn.
Not stubborn, I would say, you know, क्या बोलते हैं वो medical language में बोलते हैं ना, क्या देते हैं वो लोग, क्या देते हैं,
ये क्या होता है?
अरे देते ना ये लोग, क्या बोलते हैं उसको, जनरल एनेस्थीसिया ऐसे लेके बैठा है, कितना भी हॉर्न में उसको कुछ फर्क नहीं पड़ता. एक आदमी ने यहाँ पे ट्रक पार्क किया, एक सेंटर लेन में चलाएगा, एक इस लेन में चलाएगा, कहाँ से ओवरटेक करो, अरे कहाँ से ओवरटेक करो, अरे वो भी गवर्नमेंट की बस है, स्टेट गवर्नमेंट की बस. So there is absolutely, I mean, there is no sense only of driving people have, and then people say you should overtake from right. From how do I overtake from the right unless you're telling me to go from that service road area? I have to overtake from the center lane or the last lane because people don't buzz only. Either they don't budge, not buzz any which ways. We are back with the vlog, and thankfully the sun has gone a little down. And forget other people, even the cops in the buses, they drive on the right lane. So I think the right lane is something which people really enjoy driving in.
The rules of this city are very unclear.
Anyways, I think I have to get the culture of the left-hand drive because you have to overtake from the left somehow because nobody buzzes you, nobody moves at all.
Can we come to the point?
Yeah, can you stop coughing? Anyways, this is what I really love about the 5 Series. The balance, everything is so surreal. Look at the way it goes, and you can actually maneuver it pinpoint accurate with precision. That is how well engineered the car is. I mean, I am absolutely out of words. What a car, what a beauty. But 70 lakhs for this car, 72 lakhs precisely for this car. Well, I'm having second thoughts at the moment. I'm like, should I get the 520D or get the 330i? Because 330i is priced at around 57 lakhs. You save around 15 lakhs and you're still faster. And anyways, unless and until you want to see people at the back, I mean, if it's going to be chauffeur driven, get the 520D. Why would you want to spend more on fuel as such? Now, obviously, you want all the features of the M Sport, which are only available in the 530D, by the way, not in the 530i. There's a lot of confusion which is going on between 520, 530, 530i, 530D. What are we talking about? What's happening?
530D was much better. Look at that. TV under test. Left foot on the brake, right foot on the accelerator, revving the motor. Holds at 7,000 RPM. That's absolutely amazing. It will hold at 7,000 RPM. So we are in second gear. Let's see how does it hold exactly. So here we are. Motor is so eager. It's so smooth. It's so refined. It's unbelievably good as well. There. It will not upshift. It's holding at 7,000 RPM. Oh my god, that is so splendid indeed. What an engine. So there are 6 drive modes on offer. Yeah, that's right, 6 drive modes on offer. There's Eco Pro, which obviously gets an individual setting, wherein you can decide multiple things, whether you want coasting at 130 kilometers per hour or whatever. Then there is the standard mode, which is for comfort, or rather the comfort mode has a standard mode only. And there is the sport mode, where there is an individual setting as well. There is an adaptive mode too, and basically it adapts according to driving conditions. What all do they alter actually? Well, they alter the engine, the gearbox, the suspension, as well as the steering wheel. And trust me, in sport mode you can feel it. In Eco Pro, you know, some horses have gone on a vacation, but right now when you're in sport mode, you can feel that it gives you all that and more. It's just terrific. And trust me, there are kids in that car right in front, the Chevrolet Tavera, and they're just looking at the BMW because BMW has that brand image somehow that people love BMW cars. They are just so fantastic to look at. They drive so well. But the good old days are gone of the E60 as well as the E90. Unfortunately, now obviously E90 is not the 5 Series, it's the 3 Series. But the performance of the new one is more comfort oriented, but still sporty enough, much better than the E-Class in terms of driving dynamics. Full manual control of things, that is so freaking amazing. Top speed should be above 230 kilometers per hour for sure, but you know, I was cribbing about the lack of 6 cylinders. However, let me tell you something, you know, in spite of downsizing, still the motor is fast enough, the car is also fast enough, much more refined, more smoother and all that and more. But if you're looking for a 5 Series to be chauffeur driven, either get the 520D or just get the 530D if you want to drive yourself, because that car is just the perfect bet and balance in terms of almost everything. And if you want a fire breather, of course, there's the M5. And if you really want, you know, something with a 4-cylinder petrol engine, just get the 330i, save that money as well. I think the update to the 5 Series will come a facelift, which will actually improve the performance of this vehicle and give it similar tune as the 330i. But till that happens, I would still say get the 520D or the 530D. I'm just such a diesel head. But I'm not writing off the 530i because I believe it's a great car in its own right. Although, you know, you miss that little bit more power and torque, and that's just hunger from my side, as always. "7,000 RPM wali feeling is there in this car to the T. Thankfully, they let you take manual control of things. I was going to say something else. I was like, thank God for small mercies. Anyways, guys, this is my vlog of the BMW 5 Series, the 530i. What a brilliant machine. And overall, it does have the exciting factor in it to the T. But any car which doesn't scare you shit silly with the traction control, oh, well, there's something wrong. And the wrong here is the lack of 2 more cylinders. A 6 cylinder for and an additional 5 lakhs would be completely fine. I don't care about fuel economy if I'm going to pay 70 lakhs for a car. I really don't. But I want the car to be louder. And this is not as loud as it should be. And right now, your face is in the sun. So it's time to end. If you like this vlog, you know what you have to do. Give it a thumbs up. That's the like button. And also subscribe to the channel. I will see you guys in the next video real soon. And OMG, what are these guys doing? Never hang your head and body outside a car like this. It's not safe at all. Trust me on this. I mean, 3 heads out of 1 Honda City. OMG, what are you guys doing? Not cool, not cool. Bye-bye.